When was the last time someone knew what you were thinking before you announced your conclusion? Not what you decided, what you were thinking while you decided. If the answer is rarely or never, one of these two patterns might sound very familiar to you.
This is the first of 2 videos covering 4 patterns coaches see most frequently in executive presence assessment data. These are not theoretical archetypes I made up for a course. They are patterns that emerge from hundreds of coaching engagements across industries and seniority levels. Real leaders, real assessment data, real feedback from real stakeholders. The first pattern is the one I see most often, and it is the one that generates the most confusion, because the feedback it produces sounds like a competence problem when it is actually a visibility problem. Picture this: a senior director in a strategy meeting. She has listened to every argument. She has assessed 3 competing approaches. She has identified the one with the strongest risk profile. Then she says, "I think we should go with option B." The room hears a conclusion. What they did not see was 30 minutes of careful analysis. Empathy for the team's anxiety. A risk calculation that weighed 3 competing factors against organizational priorities. Everything that made her answer good was invisible to the people who needed to see it. The room got the output. They missed the entire process. She processes deeply and displays little. The thinking is rich. The expression is minimal. Her Genos EQ self-awareness scores are high. She notices exactly what is happening in the room. She reads the tension between the CFO and the head of operations. She picks up on the anxiety in her team. The gap is an emotional expression, the distance between what she is thinking and what the room can see her thinking. Her colleagues rely on her analysis in every strategic document the team produces, yet they describe her as withdrawn in meetings. Both of those things are true at the same time, and that is the painful part of this pattern. The competence is real, the visibility is not. The feedback she hears is brilliant but not visible. Needs to step up. Does not command the room. And here is what most people get wrong about this pattern. Confidence is not the problem. She is not uncertain about her analysis. She is not intimidated by the room. She is not holding back out of fear. The work is making the reasoning process visible in real time, narrating the thinking, not just announcing the conclusion, saying, "I have been weighing 3 options, and here is what I see," instead of just saying option B. That is a visibility practice, not a confidence intervention. The distinction matters. Now consider a very different leader with the same underlying gap. A VP presenting quarterly results to a board. He has 40 slides for a 15-minute update. He reads from the deck, referencing bullet points rather than addressing the room. His eye contact stays on the screen. A board member asks an unexpected question. Instead of responding conversationally from his expertise, and his expertise is genuine, he flips forward 3 slides to find the data point. His knowledge is deep, but his presentation of that knowledge is a performance of preparation, not a display of the authority that knowledge should carry. His assessment data reveals a consistent pattern: high analytical rigor, high preparation behaviors, low spontaneity, and adaptability in stakeholder interactions. The preparation is high quality. Every number is right, every slide is polished, but the preparation has become the performance, and it displaces the authentic presence that stakeholders are actually assessing. His feedback reads, stiff in presentations, talks to his slides, rehearsed rather than real. The board trusts his numbers, they do not experience his conviction. The coaching approach does not target his preparation discipline. That is a genuine strength. It would be wrong to undermine it. It targets the belief that preparation is presence, and the practice of trusting competence enough to set the notes aside. He does not need to prepare less. He needs to rely on the preparation less visibly. The expertise is there. The audience needs to see the person, not the deck. They need to see conviction, not just correctness. Here is what I want you to consider. Think about your last 3 important meetings. Did anyone in the room know what you were thinking before you said your conclusion? And when you presented, were you speaking from your expertise or were you performing your preparation? There is a difference between those two motivations. Hold that answer. Both the invisible thinker and the overpreparer are expression gap archetypes. Different surface behaviors. Same underlying dynamic. The distance between what is happening inside the leader and what the room can actually observe. The work for both is visibility practice, not confidence building. The invisible thinker and the overpreparer are both expression gap patterns. The next two patterns come from different gaps entirely, and they require completely different approaches. One is about authority, the other is about context, and the distinction between them determines whether the coaching actually works.